Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to some iRacing, or I prefer to call it iCrashing. We are going to be checking out some of the new content and also suffering the new races. You'll be glad to know that we have now got a we upgraded our license. We now have we're now C on the oval somehow. Don't know how that happened, but it did, and now here we are. So the new cars, we have the new Corvette to try. I'm sure it'll be fantastic. I'm sure it'll be the best. One of the best, if not the best. They've got the Clio Cups running at Lime Rock Park. The LMP2's at Watkins Glen. IMSA's at Watkins Glen. Fortunately, you need to be Class A licence. We're Class B on the sports car for safety. Well, actually, we're moving up on the safety rating. It's a bit disturbing. It's a little bit worrying. I have to say, it's a little bit worrying. But that's how it is. Who will be first in the chat? Ringmeister, what car are we using? Street stock. NASCAR's on the Ringmeister. That's going to go well. Barcelona's got the GT3 cars. Nürburgring Endurance Championship. The most realistic crashes. Yeah. Hang on.
iRacing is the most advanced and comprehensive racing simulation software in the world. It's also the most realistic.
Oh, IMSA pilot. Oh, it's the pilot challenge. It's the not very good one. Right, so we need to buy a car. I need to buy the new Corvette. This is a new one, isn't it? Is it a GTE car rather than GT3? Which one's better, the Mustang or the Corvette? Hello, Geodad. How's it going, guys? How you doing? No one's typing on Twitch. Is Twitch working? Twitch is weird today. Shall I go with the Corvette? That's the new one, isn't it? I always get confused here. Because we have the new BMW for... The new BMW for... It's a C8R. The new BMW for Le Mans Ultimate. So why is it? It's a Corvette C8R, but it's a Z06 GT3R. It is difficult for them, Freaky Leak. It's very hard. I find writing difficult. I'll do the writing. Hello. It's all right. See that I talk to myself. Good stream. I can live stream, talk, and look sexy at the same time, and type with one hand on a keyboard that's terrible. Aren't I good? Right, I think so. It's this one. Is it this one? Hang on. It is that. Yeah. See, Z06 GT3R. Okay, let's buy it. Buying a car? You wouldn't download a car? How do I buy it? How do I buy this car? You do not own this content. Yeah, I'm trying to buy it. Trying to get into the dealership. Judah. Yeah, it's been it's a good car in it's in R Factor 2 as well. Actually, it was one of the first GT cars in R Factor 2. Not this Corvette, but like one of them. Right, Twitch has been well slow to send out the signal. That's weird. Store. Hello, Phantom Racer. See, he's the first one on Twitch. Where is it? Shop. Corvette. There we go. 5.5L flat plane V8 dry sump. Dry sump. Show me your dry sump. Who doesn't like a dry? I prefer a moist sump, personally. Horsepower, 500 to 600 horses. Which is actually more like 2,500 horses. Because a horse is like 6 horsepower. Yeah, we're going to get this new Chevy. Look. Because a horsepower is how much a donkey can turn at a certain radius on a like a mill. Right, here we go. Look, how many? How much horsepower? How much horsepower does an average horse produce? I think it's 4. It might even be 12 actually. No, 14. 15 basically. An average. What is an average horse? When you say average horse, what pops in your mind? Oh yeah, just the average horse. Don't you know? Average horse. I mean, my average horse isn't going to be the same as yours. Well, look at this with Patchy. Have I ruined my beard? Oh no. What's going on here? Might have ruined my beard. No, it's just at the angle. Yeah. Hang on, what's this? Content discounts. iRacing credit. Oh, it didn't cost me anything here. They've got some new graphics. Confirm purchase. Complete purchase. Tango, hello mate. Spend an hour on the phone to a student finance to sort out your application, so you need some GM ranting. Oh man, what are you doing? Are you going to? Is this for uni? Man, student finance stuff's mental. Are you in the UK? Make sure you don't get like screwed. Companies will absolutely take advantage of students really badly. You should get student loan, do your degree, and then declare bankruptcy. I don't think that will. Student loans are actually one of the few things where you can't do that. That's how they get you. You can't even get out of it through bankruptcy. Man, it's so bad. Here we go. We've got the car now. We can give it a go. Yeah, you have to pay forever. They've got you. I mean, it was only like $3,000 when I went to university, so it was actually all right. But like now, it's insane. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. The universities need a huge amount of reform. The whole fees, the whole payment structure. Because there's like so many angles to it. Like, the fact is, there's a lot of completely BS degrees that are of no value to anyone. They're not valuable to the person taking the degree. They're not valuable to society. They're not even good degrees in terms of teaching critical thinking. So you don't. That's stupid, obviously.
The pace car is out of control.
But then you have a lot of degrees and education that is totally valuable, and you want people to learn skills of how to organise information, how to be critical. That's a large part of what a degree should be. Doesn't matter what they're studying, and that's what you want everyone to have. So that should be subsidised because it's going to be better for society. So, the whole thing's a mess. It's such a mess. It's such it's a disaster. You're going into your final year of sports journalism. Why are you doing that? That's a pointless degree. You idiot! That's worse than my degree. My degree is like absolutely useless. To be honest, it'll be just journalism though, won't it? But with a sports focus, so doesn't matter. But actually, ironically, sports journalism probably leads to a career more than other forms of journalism, as long as you can show that you can write, and it probably doesn't really matter. Your Shakespeare studies degree is useful. Well, it is. This is the thing, though, Phantom Racer. It is. So this is the mistake. So, on the right of the spectrum, political spectrum, you have people going, "Oh, people doing pointless degrees in the sciences and in the arts," and it's like, well, they're not pointless, because it's actually the point of life is art, effectively. Like the sign of a healthy society is one that can do arts and stuff, but then also being able to theorize about things, or look at history, or see how language has changed, and study all these things. That's actually really quite valuable, and you can apply those skills to lots of things. So, that's not really a bad thing to have a degree in, and you might have someone that's got an art degree could be really good even in a corporate environment. And then you can have some corporate degrees, like a lot of business and finance degrees are total bollocks. They're totally stupid. Like, they're built on paradigms that just are completely wrong. But, it's just like, it's a bit of structure, and you learn the process of how to go through stuff, and then when you get into reality, well, then you learn reality. So it doesn't really matter what degree it is. The thing is, you can have a good quality business degree, or good quality science degree, or good quality arts degree. The actual subject's not the thing. It's the thing that should be taught, especially a degree, undergraduate degree, not doctorates. It's more about understanding the logical process of how to sort through information, how to go through sources, and how to present that in a final dissertation document, or as well as like a basic amount of research to understand a subject to a moderate level. That's the point of it. It's not meant to be a mental thing. I don't understand how that costs £300,000. But yeah, this is the whole thing's a total mess. The whole thing is a complete mess. Degrees are good for meeting women, to be honest. 60 grand. Jesus Christ. Yeah, but hopefully you can pay it back in a tax efficient way. In the UK, at least, even though it's a rip-off, you can the rates at which you pay back the loans aren't terrible. I mean, it's a tax. It's a terrible tax. It's a stupid tax, but there's worse things that exist, like basic cost of living and stuff. So the real value of a degree is meeting people that are interested in the same subject as you. That's the big value, really. In terms of actual education, you can teach yourself. Yeah, exploiting the poor is most of capitalism is a bit of a Ponzi scheme. So it is definitely exploiting the poor. They're normally the most vulnerable and most easy to capitalise on. So yeah, it's good advice. I exploit my poor stomach by filling it with tea. Supposedly they've changed the Porsche Cup car as well in this. But let's try this new GT car. When's the race? What's the time now? 4, 5, 6. There's one at 6. There's an open one. What's the open one? What is the open one called? What's the open one called? LMP2's at Watkins Glen. That could actually be okay. You find out though, you just meet chavs or weirdos. My degree was I went to a university that did a lot of animation, so they were the weirdest of the weird, like absolutely crazy people. It's alright. Oh, GT Sprint. What's the logo look like? Oh, is that what it is? That's weird. It's weird that my brain completely ignored it. That's at 5. Right, so we might as well we'll do some practice. We'll see what it's like. We'll actually drive the car. Where's it gone? Also, with the fixed setup, will be interesting. Why am I blind? Here we go. Where's the practice? This is all messed up. That's what I'm trying, E-Chobs, because it... Well, we'll see. We'll see. We're remaining positive. Do you get a GTE car as well? Why is Twitch not notifying anyone that we're live? That's weird. Oh well. Don't really care. I like oversteer. I live for oversteer. Oh, I like to have force feedback as well, and I forgot to turn it on. Okay. Oh boy, I need to. No, what's going on here? My streaming PC's been a bit slow. Hopefully the stream's all right, but. I need to rebuild my streaming PC, guys. Really can't be bothered. The amount of cables I have to unplug. Oh no, it better not be understeery. Oh no. Does force feedback make you go fast? No, it helps you drive easier though. Doesn't make you faster though. Well, makes you more consistent. It makes it easier to be consistent, but raw speed in a sim mostly comes from racing line, and trail braking. Effectively, is 90% of 99% of lap time. Racing line, and trail braking is probably 99% of speed. Well, let's say 95%, and 5% is then on throttle and balancing. In iRacing, it's like, just because of how the tyres are, it's 99% racing line. AC is like 80% braking and racing line, and then 10% balance. The balancing part, I think, is the most fun part of driving.
You're on a dry tire.
You want a dry tire? I'm clipping that. You want a dry tire? Remix. You want a dry tire? Remix. That was so funny. Dry tire. You don't get that in other sims. He's on a dry. He's on a dry tire. Dry tire on your car. Dry tire, it's wet. Dry tire on your car. Dry tire. Oh, this car doesn't drive. It doesn't drive on wets. It dries in the wet. Dear. Settings are all wrong as well. Need my height, driver height, neck extension. Here we go. track is wet, so it's not going to work, is it? Yeah, it's a nice Hoover. It is so weird how you have to drive in iRacing compared to other sims. It is so weird. Absolutely bizarre. I'm always vacuuming on my stream. This is a sledge. Why is this race in the wet? I need to bind a windscreen wiper button. This is so weird. This is so weird. Oh dear, I haven't played iRacing for ages. This drives like nothing like any other simulator. Oh, we're doing the proper track, that's nice. Oh. Well, I guess you can't drive on that in the wet. Very strange. This car is super weird. It's like a sledge. Hello. This is bizarre. Why is it so drawn out in its handling? But it's like I'm driving on snow. This is like snow or something, not... What is this? It's crazy. I'm on wet tyres. I mean, this is a very weird car to drive. Oh. It's like a hovercraft. Don't know what's going on with this. It's like we're driving on snow. Frame rate's pretty bad as well. Oh, I thought I was going to drive into him then. Yeah. Okay. Try, let's see what the dry tires are like.
You're on a dry tyre.
What's my frame rate since this, my frame rate's got worse?
Right side. Still there. Clear.
I mean, I've got everything on low here, so... Yeah, I mean, this doesn't drive like a car. I don't know what's going on. This is actually insane. Oh, speeding in pits. Forgot about that. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with this. It's driving like it's on snow. I know the track's wet and we've got wet tyres, but it's the road's like it's snow. It doesn't make any sense at all. That was my fault. It's so bizarre. Ultimate hate. Yeah. Well, I mean, iRacing have said this as well.
iRacing is the most advanced and comprehensive racing simulation software in the world. It's also the most realistic.
It's also the most realistic. I know you are. This is insane. I don't think it's supposed to drive like it's snow. I think the other cars are driving like that as well. We don't need windscreen wipers. Good visibility. Yeah, it's very strange. Could probably do with binding a windscreen wiper button. I thought I had it on automatic. I like the spray droplets look cool.
Slow car ahead.
It's
You got a slow car on the
the
right.
cars are like stepping out in slow motion rather than sort of snapping. It's like snow. It's not like do you know what I mean? It's actually, what on earth? It's crazy. Alright, thank you, Valunium. 15 months. Really appreciate the support, man. I'm gonna give you a rocket. And no ads for you now, though. Thank you very much. This is like driving on snow.
You fast, wet.
This, I mean, this is really weird. Like some weird sort of snow. It's like no other simulator. Like absolutely no other car or sim drives like this. I'm just come off the throttle a bit there. We're not touching the paint. We're on wet tyres. The whole track is wet. You can hear the TC and everything. And the car, why is it not responding to counter steer there? And also, why is it spinning so like there? What's... This is their fixed setup. Oh, I don't know why my frame rate's so bad since this. It's not the spinning. I'm not really concerned about the spinning. The car's just, it's like we're driving on snow. Everything's like really slow motion. I assume you need to drive this car. Honestly. You need to drive this car. Honestly, this is a new level of iRacing. In the wet, at least. Like this is it's not twitching unstable. This is an absolute tank. Oh, on a dry track maybe, but on here. Need to bind the wiper button. This is this drives nothing like R Factor 2, ACC, AC, AMS1, Automobilist 2. This is so different. This is so different. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't even know. I can't even. It's like we're driving on snow or something. This is on another level. This is like this is this is yeah. I don't know what's going on, guys. I don't know how this happens. Right. I can't. The frame rate's really bad for me here. We can try installing some new drivers. I think that whatever they've done in the update seems to have made frame rates worse. Everything's on low. Oh, we need to windscreen wiper button. Let's just go for this button. Oh, hello. What? Why is my wheel doing that? Not ideal. There we go. Open XR and Open VR. They're just two different ways of doing VR, displaying VR. Yeah, but I mean, I played iRacing in the wet before, but I've got a 3080. It wasn't this bad before, frame rate wise. This is such a low detailed track, it's a bit strange. It's like snow. The car is not. It's so drawn out and sluggish. Everything's like in slow motion. Like the sliding is so drawn out. It's like it doesn't want me to drive the car at all. It's like I'm driving a hovercraft. This drives absolutely nothing like any other simulator. No, that's what I get. Can't debate. We don't do that. This is more drawn out than AMS2. It doesn't like holding the slip though, so it will do like a single direction slide, but it doesn't like your counter steering. So look how it's washing out there. It's This is super strange to drive. No, I'm not driven on the dry track yet. We just jumped in on this. What? Buddy up.
Go left. That was your fastest lap position.
This is insane. It has the same tyre thing that it does in the dry. It's just slow motion. It's just slow motion. It's like it's exactly the same stuff. So you do turn in a bit too much for the tyres for what iRacing likes. That causes the back to step out. That's it. It doesn't matter. Like you can't steer. It doesn't do anything. It's the same.
The pace car is out of control.
It's just with wet tyres as well. Like just it's like the dry stuff, but just in slower motion. It's just like slow motion of the same thing. You watch the wheel on the onboard. Right. all the people driving this don't realise that this is a bit. Oh dear. Because what it is, right? Let me explain how this goes. So you turn in slightly too much for the rear grip that you've got in this game. That's fine. And then the natural thing to do is to counter steer that. But then it's just nothing happens. It's really bizarre. Let's try it in the dry. Try it in the dry. Oh, you just have to drive under the limit all the time. That's all. Just drive it. Just stay under the limit. Single corner, you know, roll it into the slide. It's exactly the same as every other car in iRacing. Let's. How can we try it in the dry? Do we just do testing? I was hoping the car would be a little bit more, because I was watching other people and they were like, oh, it's, you know, I was hoping it'd be a little bit more, you know, I still expect it to be like iRacing, but, you know. How do we do testing? Where is it? Where's the... Oh, test drive in top left. Corvette. Yeah, we're doing all right. You Fanatec DD, and I own all the sims. By far, R Factor 2 was the best for settings and physics. Well, I mean, R Factor 2 is all right, but right. Let's try this here. We'll use the default setup. We'll use like medium downforce sprint. There we go. I would start with Assetto Corsa, ACC. There's a few games coming out. iRacing is quite expensive, so I wouldn't really start with it, to be honest. It's also has its own way of driving that's shall we say unique. But it is the most realistic, so you know. What's him as the most respectful drivers? I mean, LFM, it depends. It's pretty similar. Like, the thing is, it's more to do with netcode. So R Factor 2 and LMU have really forgiving netcode for car contacts. I think people generally are trying to drive well in LMU and R Factor 2. Those games are a little bit buggy. It's like they've done the you know what they did with the Radical SR10. It's really like slow motion and drawn out, the sliding. Like the tyres are mega sloppy. It's got really sloppy tyres on it. So a lot of people playing iRacing go, oh, the Radical SR10, it's really forgiving, you can slide it around. And it's like, no, it's just the tyres are slopping in slow motion. So everything's happening really slowly, which gives the illusion of it being more controllable, but it's actually, I would argue, worse. I think the older iRacing cars are actually better, like the Star Mazda, the old Radical RX, the SR8, the old F3 car. They're more abrupt in terms of the grip disappearing, but they're also more responsive, and at the end of the day the grip still disappears with the new cars. It still has the same physics thing with the tyres overheating. It's got the same physics issue, so you might as well have it be more abrupt, and at least then you have a more defined point. Whereas now it's just vague now, but it's with the same problem. So it for someone that is less experienced, they would think it's better, but if you know what to look for, it's actually, I would argue it's worse. A worse philosophy of design of tyres. AMS2 is very controllable. AMS2's got other things going with it. The car doesn't respond to counter steer properly. Really weird. You want to, like, trying to induce a slide, it's just either stuck in understeer. You're trying to induce it onto the limit, and it won't go onto, you know, it won't it won't get into an all-wheel slide at all. And then as soon as it does, it spins. Like, you're trapped into driving. Right, so you know you're well under the limit, and then you start getting faster, and you'll start getting understeer. So what you want is more oversteer. So you would purposefully get on the throttle to rotate the back around more, or you brake to nose the front in. But and then you rely on counter steer to hold that. But this won't even turn in here. This could be set up. But as soon as you induce, get the brake bias back. Probably got TC on as well. Trying to actually induce oversteer. There we go. As soon as you get any actual oversteer, it goes. Like you. There's no counter steer in that at all. That's like you can counter steer it whilst going through the corner and it rides it forwards. Yeah, we could do it in the setup. Yeah, I'll do that, Shumi. Yeah, let's just do it in the setup. Because at the moment, you see, it's just gone into oversteer with no counter steer. But yeah, at the moment this setup is mostly just trying to understeer. It's really drawn out, like the way it's lumbering when you get into the slide. Right, let's make the setup more oversteering. Zertil. Yeah, the problem with that saying is that so some sims pass a certain threshold of physics in that they let you balance the car at the limit, and some sims don't, and that's a fundamental part of driving. So the argument that everything's just different is a disingenuous argument, because clearly, you know, you're playing driving sims. Instead of playing Mario Kart, you're playing racing simulators, and the expectation is to have certain degrees of car handling. So it's an excuse that's used by people to seem anodyne, where they go, you just say, oh, everything's different. It's like, well, that you're not saying anything. Right, let's get this set up. We would do the rear diff. We could just start by making the rear diff more open and reducing TC. So we'll just turn TC. You drive this car with TC on, but we can turn that. I mean, to be honest, TC should allow for really progressive oversteer slides. Where's the drivetrain on this? Differential. So less friction plates will open the diff. Just the rear diff. Yeah. Reduce that as well. This is just understeering. This is just understeer. more oversteer. The thing is, you shouldn't need to do like crazy setup stuff to we're already using the baseline setup. Right, there we go. It's just really, really drawn out. If you induce oversteer on the brake, it's super drawn out, and then if you get like a slight bit of snap oversteer, then it just goes straight away. Like there's no even counter steering it. It's like everything's in slow motion. Oh, tires are still cooked on the slide. It's just super, super sluggish. It's really weird how it drives. I mean, it just doesn't respond to the counter steer. It won't hold combined slip.
That was your fastest lap position.
It has like, you know, it's the same. It's exactly the same as all the cars in iRacing. It has the thing where it will. You can do a single direction slide that when the slide happens, once you start when the slide happens, because you're at the certain angle, and then you just let it unwind itself and it corrects itself, that's fine, and that's what people think is drifting. It's just a power slide. But if you do anything that's like an induced slide or something where you need to counter steer and balance it, it just doesn't support it. We're just getting, this is just understeer. I think what ends up happening is when you're on a wider radius, the front tires just end up heating and then it understeers. Yeah, it's not allowing me to build to oversteer because it's understeering. Look. Yeah, but it doesn't even... It doesn't bite in. It just goes to understeer. The front won't hook up. Yeah, okay. So if I'll put more front downforce on, because we've opened the rear. Basically, get rid of the rear wing. There we go. I've already removed the rear wing, basically entirely. We've opened the rear diff. We could stiffer the rear ARB, but that's like no. Let's start with low downforce. Low downforce sprint, and then low rear wing. Open the rear diff. No rear diff at all. Should turn the TC off. I don't know if 0 TC is actually 0. 0 is off. No TC. Well, we'll try that now, and then we can try more settings. This is setup muscle. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Right. There you go. Now it can oversteer. Now it can actually oversteer. It won't just go into understeer. Right. So that's fine. Now we can actually do that. I'm actually dizzy. Right. Now it wants to go into understeer. How is it still wanting to understeer rather than oversteer? Right, can we do it on the wider radius? Right, you see what happens as soon as the back wants to give out and you catch it, it doesn't. You can see exactly what's happening there. That really highlights the thing. Bloody hell, these lines are well confusing. So you want to I am actually running 1-to-1 I'm running 1-to-1 wheel rotation for anyone that thinks that stuff. It really does have a tendency for the fronts to start wanting to understeer. If you're on it, basically, you have a single rotational line for each car setup. So if I'm on this line, it wants to chronically understeer, and then if I'm on this radius, it then wants to oversteer more. And so the setup corresponds to a specific car angle. So rather than you as a driver denoting that angle by holding different amounts of slip, the car setup defines the slip for the radius. That is not how it works. You will obviously you'll have an ideal. A setup will give you an ideal, will maximize it. That's fine, but the driver has a lot of control over that. really bonk. Really not happy with that. All you can really do is pull it out of the slip rather than hold it. It just gradually adds up. The temperature just gets higher and higher, and then you can't do anything. Imagine doing this test in real life. Yeah, the lift-off oversteer causes the lifting off, makes the rear go over there. Yeah, basically you just... It's the same old thing if you just have to drive under the limit all the time. So I've dabbed the brake and oversteered a bit, and that's it. There's no, like, snapping to catch it, if that makes sense. Because I wanted to try this new car. Greta, it doesn't matter because all the car settings will just be masking the what's going on with the tyres. Yeah, that's not the point. We purposefully set the car up so that the rear is oversteering. It's really sluggish. That's what's weird. Everything's in slow motion. It's really drawn out. No, because obviously within any simulator you can obviously set up the car to try and negate whatever the car happens to be doing to avoid it. But we're obviously we've set the rear up to be oversteering. Like I've removed the rear downforce. We've not got TC on, to purposefully have it so that when driving around the back starts to step out and then you counter steer and you see how the car responds to that. That's the point of that. Yeah, obviously if you can put TC on and you could put more downforce and then you can have the car just understeer, but that's not the point. Like, the point is you should be able to hold combined slip, because it's a really basic part of driving a race car. Like, at best, yeah, at best you can. I mean, you probably could do like a setup that's entirely designed around making it into a drift car, but again, that would be absurd in the other direction. because obviously you would never. You'd want to be able to hold a small amount of combined slip in a productive manner with a setup that's also good for racing. So back in the day with like R Factor 1, for example, or even with AC, you have like really mental cars which are just set up for insane drifting. So they're super mega. They're like really, really mega controllable with slip, like crazy controllable with slip. But there's obviously they're like full-on drift setups. They wouldn't make any sense for actual racing, you know. So it's not an example of how you would have the car set up. Exactly, there you go. 07 bucks got it. But yeah, this basically it's exactly the same as every other car in iRacing. No, well, now AMS2 you can slide everything. AMS2 everything's in monster slip at all times. Yeah, no, obviously aero balance is a big thing in all cars, but that's beside the point. Yeah, you if you have a setup that's fundamentally not balanced, then it's going to be very hard to drive it in a balanced way. The default setups on this car are all sort of in the understeery. Everything's so slow about it though. The response of the car to the input. It's really, really sluggish. It drives absolutely nothing like anything in any other simulator. Oh, yeah. I don't think I'll drive that car. Oh dear, it's like the SR10. It's like a GT3 SR10, but heavier. Oh yeah, we've got to try the new Porsche Cup car. Here we go. Yeah, the Corvettes are really in ACR Factor 2, Project Cars 2. They're really like they seem to be quite springy and compliant. They are still quite heavy cars. They're like if you were to mix a Ferrari with yeah, they're weird, but they're kind of a bit like a Ferrari, less than a Porsche, but then they're still quite bitey and compliant, and like to accelerate out of corners. But that Corvette's just really sloppy is the word I would... sloppy is how I'd describe it. Really, really sloppy. Like driving on snow. Even in the dry, it's like driving on snow. But then again, maybe for iRacers, if they only play iRacing and that's what they're used to, they will frame it all within the framing of iRacing, so driving under the limit, and so then they'll be like, oh, you know, it slides, it's quite progressive into the understeer slide. Why is everything in the rain? Oh. Why the tech failed? Was it the graphics setting? What does oh, is it default setup? It's weird though, because I've just loaded into their practice, and it's maybe it's not fixed. Thought it's a fixed one. Yeah, no, I just it's just weird because I just loaded into the session, so I thought it might have been something else. Let's try it in the dry. Oh dear, guys. Yeah, supposedly they've tweaked this car. Did Bowl 7 raid us? Thank you very much for raiding us. Sorry it didn't come up on the screen. I need more tea. It's so weird that iRacing's GT3 cars can be so sludgy and like driving on snow when you compare that to ACC and R Factor 2 and AC1 and AMS2 and AMS1 and R Factor 1. It's really bizarre that you can have a sim that's so different and like seemingly people don't mention it particularly. Like, it is so different. But we're not talking, it's not mildly different, it's a totally different. It's like if you loaded up AC and you set the, it's not the same, but like the equivalent of if you turn the track grip to 10%. But it wouldn't even be that. It'd be like you got the physics and turned it to slow motion or something. Or like it'd be like if you were driving in the snow in Project Cars 2, but it was actually dry, and then you were like, oh yeah, you know. It's that different. Like the GT3 handling in iRacing would be the equivalent of how a car would handle differently in AC1 if you made it a dirt track, like you converted the track to a dirt track. It would be that different. It's not a subtle. It's not like, obviously every sim's different, and you know, like in R Factor 2 you can slide the cars around more. AMS2 as well, you can do like you can hold really wide slip through corners and things, which are quite big differences. But like the difference between a GT3 car in iRacing and ACC, for example, in terms of the basic handling, is like so different. I'd say the Formula cars, it's less so. Like the F4 car and the Super Formula are closer to other sims. Like the lighter the car, the closer they seem to be to other simulators.
You're on a wet tyre.
What? Don't want wet tyres. You say iRacing is meant for oval, but the oval has the same thing as well, in that the cars are sort of sliding around. So a lot of oval drivers comment on that as well. It seems like it might be a little bit more controllable than it was previously. Still. Or maybe not. Yeah, you just have that thing that as soon as you get into slightly wider slip, the type of slip that you would just counter steer in any other simulator, the physics turn off. But it seems like you have more rotation before it gets into that physics state now, so it makes it a tiny bit more controllable. Like the car turns in a little bit better than it used to. Yeah, it has more controllable oversteer before it just turns off, and it doesn't seem to be locking up as much as it used to. But as soon as you get into like slightly wider slip, you can't just counter steer it. Well, you can't counter steer how you would counter steer it in ACC, R32, AC1. So you still have to really stay under the limit massively. I feel a bit bad for like new sim racers because iRacing is so brutal. It's so unforgiving for oversteer. Like so unforgiving. I think it would put. I think iRacing really does have the risk of putting a lot of people off sim racing.
The pace car is out of control.
Especially if you don't have a high-end wheel. But then again, a lot of people get into sim racing through gamepads, and you have to drive like that robotic way with a gamepad. So maybe they don't notice. Maybe they just go, "Oh, you know, I just overdrove." Thanks for following. Welcome. Well, no, the more you pay for stuff, the better it is. That's why wine... I spend a lot of money on wine because it always tastes better the more you spend. Yeah, I mean, if iRacing, as I keep saying, if they get it so that you can actually drive over the limit properly, all the other stuff is awesome. Like the big events they do, I don't mind the graphics, I don't mind the sound. Having hourly races, they really need to adjust, get the tyres being actually like tyres and the net code. This is a lot easier to drive than it used to be. I couldn't drive this before. You know. Oh, it's still wanting to just go, but. So, I mean, this is fractionally closer to how the Porsche Cup car drives in AC. Bonjour. He did a lot of work with them. Why did he just keep saying to them over and over again that the car should be controllable at the limit? This is what's weird, right? You don't need real drivers. Like, you don't need real drivers to say the most... Like, it's really obvious. People like me have been saying stuff for like 10 years. Everybody knows. Like, iRacing developers can play Assetto Corsa. You know. The whole ex-real driver helped is just marketing. Not that they didn't help. Not that they don't give good feedback. I'm not saying that, but it is still just giving out randomly. What was that? What was I saying? I was saying the whole thing about driver feedback for sim development is ridiculous, pretty much. In the sense that, obviously, all the sim developers, like, if iRacing didn't... They know what's wrong with their sim. Like, they could just go and play AC. They know, like, but then the idea that a real driver consults on a car and then that magically makes it better. It's like the real driver will just say exactly what I've been saying for 10 years and what a lot of people have been saying, because anybody that's driven any car in real life will be like, oh yeah, they're quite forgiving and you can counter steer. So when you have in a simulator, when you have like humongous physics holes, like not subtle stuff, that like a real driver's really going to be good for like bizarro subtle things, like, oh, how does it actually sound in the cockpit? What sort of like weird stuff. There'll be like loads of weird things, like from your experience of racing this GT3 car, how aggressively is the TC normally set up, or for what reasons, or why does the team do this kind of thing, or you know, how much of the stone noise or off-track noise would you hear at the bottom of the car? Is it noticeable? There'll be loads of really good subtle stuff that a real-world driver will be absolutely fantastic for, which you just wouldn't... There's no way you'd conceivably know unless you were like a real pilot or a real driver. You just wouldn't know. So also, like in a plane, the pilot seating position and how visible the holographic sight is and what they tend to use in a passenger jet and not use out of all the systems, and little tropes and things that, you know, what buttons tend to have more wear on them. Loads of stuff like that. That is what a real pilot driver will bring to the table. When it comes to like physics, tyre model, the flight model in a flight sim, it's going to be down to the sim developer to get the technology working. No, you can have Max Verstappen consult on the F1 game, and Max Verstappen will just say, oh yeah, Formula 1 cars are actually really quite grippy, and yeah, they're actually quite controllable in many ways. The grip disappears quickly. It's stuff that anybody can work out. You don't need Max Verstappen to tell you that. It's obvious. like anybody that's driven a car or watched Formula 1 can be like, oh, that's clearly what those cars drive like. You don't need a driver to tell you that a Porsche Cup car should be controllable and recoverable, right?
I don't like ACC,
but for marketing, sim developers will obviously go, we had Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, whatever, you know, we've Daniel Morad, whatever. Consult, because the sim developer can use that in marketing. So you know,
Okay, let's go.
yeah, I mean, this seems like mildly better. Maybe we could even race it. Yeah, I'm not necessarily replying to chat with that. I'm just explaining that situation. Yeah, like, so like the stuff that I complain about with Sims is really big obvious issues, because I don't know much about cars and physics at all. So like, you know, when I'm like, oh, the grass was mental, or like in AMS2 the diff doesn't seem to operate normally, or in iRacing you can't drive the car at the limit naturally. I'm talking about really obvious basic stuff. my complaints, or what I point out, are like so obvious, you know, so obvious, high level stuff, just really basic stuff, not basic to necessarily fix, but like the very obvious stuff. You there's a whole bunch of things that are just I don't have a clue. Like you know, I never really comment on tyre wear, how much tyres should heat up and cool down over a period, how long they should last, how the different compounds should last, how, you know, the speeds of the cars, what the normal setups of the car should be, how strong or weak traction control and ABS should be on a given car, you know, all those like subtle setup things. I don't comment on it because I don't know. I don't have a clue, and it's far too complex for my brain. So, you know. Yeah, no, I've read that Days of Blunder. Yeah, so I say hopefully that does make a big difference, but yeah. But they've done the Porsche does seem a little bit better. I don't know. Seems like a 10% improvement. I wonder if the people that drive Porsche would see it that way, or I kind of get the feeling that iRacing fans will like whatever they do. Same with like flight sim fans of various flight sims. They often just like whatever the developer says they've done. But yeah, so I mean the new Corvette I think is terrible. The Porsche seems a little bit better to drive, but still, you know, it's iRacing. Don't know what else they've changed. Let's have a look. I mean, I don't really drive front-wheel drive cars. Formula cars. I think. The Super Formula is at Jules Villeneuve. That's good. Formula Ford's at Alton Park. That could be fun. They've not changed the Formula Ford, have they? Do the Super Formula. Yeah, we just bought the Ford GT. I think it's not very good. It's really sloppy. I think the GT3 cars in iRacing are crazy. Maybe if you just play iRacing and you get used to it. But like drive the, what was it we were driving in R Factor 2? Is that a Corvette? That's the same car, isn't it? Hang on, that's meant to be the same car, right? There's a GTE, but it's basically the same. It's the same car, but with a different package on it, I think. In no way do those cars drive like each other. In absolutely no way does that R Factor 2 Corvette drive anything like the iRacing one, like at all. No, they're completely different cars. Like, I think so iRacing, like R Factor 1, really benefits from, if a car's lighter and it's got downforce, that makes the tyres re-grip faster and also stabilises the vehicles, especially at speed. So because of the more, when you've got a lighter car with downforce, it's less about mechanical grip and it's more about like aerodynamic grip. So then it means that it negates the tyre model of a simulator. That was definitely, I think that's the case with iRacing, and that was definitely the case with R Factor 1. I think I might need to update my graphics drivers here. We'll do a race here. We're good. This is a really good track, this. I mean, I don't think I came out of the pit too badly there.
Got wheel damage.
What? Why are they just driving into me?
Looks like your car is towed. You'll need to tow back to pit lane.
Right.
Press and hold the reset button and we'll come
What,
and
what are
get
they doing? Come out of the pit. Car in front's just blocking me, so I can't go. I mean, fair enough, he's on a lap, but why would he just drive into me? So I've stopped here. How does he drive into me? How do you do that? He's just come out of the pit. He's cut the pit. It's just really weird. I was on the hot lap line.
Car stopped ahead.
Oh, I've got some fish I need to eat. Forgot. Right, I've got frame timing issues we need to sort out. I mean, it won't. It's very hard to play iRacing when you've been playing other sims.
For cutting the course.
Yeah, we completed AC. My frame rate is terrible. I'm reducing graphics a bit. With Open Series Firefox, I just get setups from like VRS and stuff. BRT, what's a good set of affordable load cell pedals? The best cheap ones are the Fanatec CSL V2s. Yeah, the T300 pedals are terrible. You just get the Fanatec Club Sport. I mean the CSL V2s. They're really good. Why is my game running slowly? They've done since the update. The game's running worse. I'm going to install new NVIDIA drivers, see if that helps. Is the shipping slow from Fanatec? It shouldn't be. It depends what region you're in. No, there's a lot of YouTubers hyping Fanatec stuff. Yeah, it was slow before though. Turge is separate to that. We just moved him around. I've just turned him back down anyway. iRacing. See what happens with this. Yeah, I don't know if I can even be. I don't think I'll even do a race in that Corvette. I don't think I can be bothered. I was hoping it would be a little bit more like, just a little bit more pokey, controllable. Because I quite like the GT3 is quite a popular category in iRacing, so there's a lot of people in it, and the IMSA stuff's quite good. Oh, I mean, we could try the LMP2 car again. I don't know if they've changed that at all. Well, the thing, the GR86 is just super slow. And it's the only reason why that seems good is because it has traction control that stops the tyres getting stuck. Yeah, there's no force feedback BRT for braking in R Factor 2, so it won't. I mean, the load cell just makes it easier to be precise and easier to trail brake, but So it's worth getting nice pedals anyway. Did they did Portal get an RTX mode? Need to try that. Right, here we go with the PC melt. New drivers are always a risk on the triple screen setup. Yeah, I have seen new EVR. Here we go. Installer has finished. I think I'll reboot. Right, I'll just get my fish. I'll be back in a second whilst this computer reboots and catches on fire. Get a cup of tea, guys. Let's see if the computer now catches on fire. Probably will do. I think I need to just get a Sega Mega Drive. That's where it's really at. Yeah, I mean, I can't afford to buy one, but hopefully I can maybe get one to review. There's no way I'm affording to buy a new graphics card, but I'd like to get a 50 series one. Get some music back on here. I'm exhausted today, guys. Yesterday I was like, we had to walk like 6 miles, and then I did a video. We did a live stream, absolutely wrecked. Oh, we can have some trance music. The Corvette, we tried it. I didn't like it. It's really sloppy. And they've made the Porsche Cup car drive a little bit better, it seems, but it's still not, you know. Yeah, it's a GT3 car. But it doesn't drive like well, you know. Does it need to be said? Just loading in. I've had stutter since the update, so. Which is that the replicator, Susan? I thought the Ori were boring, to be honest. Oh yeah, how did Daniel come back? Did he de-ascended? Or something? Was it because he tried to help them? Can't go wrong with vocal trance. I'm a simple person. Ah, what a noobis. Oh no. It's still good though. It's still good. Oh no, it's even worse. It's even more stuttery. What has iRacing done? I mean, what? I just can't be bothered. Why is this game so like finicky for graphics? But everything's on low here. Oh, he's totally messed up. That's the special toaster mode. It's a new feature. Seemed I don't know what to do here. So they've updated iRacing, but whatever they've done is made it run different. I wonder if anyone else is having issues with stutter since the update. I wonder how many sim racers have their game set up so things are like absolutely 100% immaculately smooth. Yeah, it's doing the intermittent stutter issue that it had before. But. What? Why? What even is that? What even causes that? Oh, I've got to cancel that other event. Yeah, we fixed it. We were using older drivers once. Then we like forced VSync. I don't know. What can I do? This game should be running at like 300 FPS. I'll run the graphics config again. How do we do that? Is it in settings? Well, they've added like rain and stuff to it, but the underlying engine tech needs totally replacing, doesn't it? But they won't because it's they've built too much on top of it. Bottom left. Settings, yeah, then where's the graphics config? In the home screen. Hang on, right, where? This thing down here. In these settings. Okay. I'm gonna like show my bank card, am I? Okay, when you're in that, then what? Ah, wrong graphics config. Okay, I found it. I found it of one. Oh dear. Oh, I don't even know which is display. Oh dear. I hope it sets up on the right monitor. Is that it? But that's why is nothing's happened. I ran it and then it disappeared. Nothing's happened. Okay. What is this bollocks? Yeah, realistically, something like iRacing should ideally run as well as like AMS2 or something. Yeah, they can't build a new game because so much will be tied into the graphics engine and how everything operates, and then so the only real option they would have is to gradually update the shaders and, you know. Oh no, now it's on the wrong monitor. I don't know which. How do I force it? It doesn't even say the it doesn't even say the monitor number. I mean, how do I know? Oh, it's still stuttering as well, so that was just a waste of time. Oh dear. Yeah, I go to options. It doesn't actually say. Just play it on this side monitor. Oh, because it's monitor 2. Monitor 2 is my middle monitor, obviously. So I will just do graphics config again, and I'll reselect the correct monitor. Yeah, display 2. Oh, okay. Auto config. Right, let's do this. Why do I need to do it off stream? I'm not. I don't stream on the same computer. I use a separate computer. iRacing's unaware that I'm live streaming. We'd pay for this. Well, no, it wouldn't make any difference. I don't have anything open. Oh yeah, well, it could actually be SimHub. That would explain it. SimHub's been weird recently. Yeah, normally the intermittent stutters caused by the game trying to communicate with something, and then it not getting the communication. I just reset all my graphics, that's good. It's just what I wanted. Tanko vision. Oh, SimHub's working. Oh, I'm so glad it's reset everything. It's my and the UI and everything. Oh, perfect. Just exactly what I wanted. Everything perfect. Well, it's not the optimal settings because you don't need 4 times AA with a 4K monitor. Oh, what's that about? Windows is already to. Oh, that's a plugin. How do normal people have time for this? Thing is, people say AC's bad, but I don't think it's the user interface is a bit stupid, but it's not really bad for like once you've got AC set up, it's very easy to quickly adjust things. It loads really quickly, and it never. I don't really get these sorts of random issues with it after an update because it's never updated. Like, you just don't use new shader patch and that's it. Like, AC1 is oddly an oddly stable engine, really. I mean, it's not perfect. Like, the server side of it isn't, but the graphics engine is particularly good. Where's the camera settings option? What's it called? How do you stop it? It might try and launch it on whatever your primary monitor is. No, I don't want to use an older NVIDIA driver though. And we already were. We were using something that was stable until this update. Oh, what's it called, guys? The camera setting thing which lets you change the car position. Custom cameras. Oh, here it is. Camera tool. Oh. Of course that's bloody mute for Discord.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, where's the hide obstruction thing? Where's that setting? It's also the most realistic. No. It's just since iRacing just updated. This wasn't a problem before. That's not working. It's not the force feedback. It's not Sim Hub. We haven't got anything else open. It's just we had this problem before. It was a specific driver. I mean, I just can't be bothered with it, to be honest. I can't be bothered. Incoming. Let's try closing some other apps. Well, no, it's iRacing. Because it's updated. Is it? Could it be? Hang on. Everything was fine. Everything was totally fine, and then it's come back since iRacing has had an update. Could it be the update that iRacing has had? Let me just check with Sherlock Holmes over here. My dear Watson, it appears that something has changed. And only one thing has changed since we last loaded the game. Could it possibly be that change is the change that's caused the issue? Could it be? No, 'tis merely but a coincidence. could not be the most obvious thing at all. Could not be that. I think we need to investigate things more. Get back on the streets. Ah, dear. I could disable a bunch of stuff. Regardless here. My goodness! Sorry, that's a bit quiet, guys. What is it with Microsoft OneDrive always wanting to enable itself at launch? Nobody wants Microsoft OneDrive at launch. Not a single person. My name is Moriarty. My tea's been tampered with. Right, we've got the latest drivers. We just disabled some other programs. Normally, when you get like an intermittent stutter, normally it's to do with the I think my computer's just crashed or something's happened. No, normally it's to do with the game trying to communicate with something else. The election debate. Oh, we could watch it. It'll be terrible. It'll be so bad. Why do you want it? Why do you even watch it? The election's rigged anyway. Labour's going to win. Reform UK is going to get seats and just be annoying. Lib Dems will collect a bunch of votes and then do absolutely nothing with it. And then in 10 years' time, 10, 15 years' time, UK will rejoin the EU and then right-wing parties will drag the country down again. it's just you know, why you can't even be invested in it. Oh dear, still doing it. No, Alpha Quadrant. Still doing the old judder. Oh, we did find that running it windowed weirdly in the past. Randomly, can help. This has been very successful. It's a great successful stream. Oh dear. Well, no, it has been successful. We found out the Porsche Cup car is mildly better, and that the new GT car is a bit rubbish. Is this stuttering still? Why don't I have a frame count on the screen as well? Oh, yeah, still.
Car on your left, clear.
What on earth? I mean, my computer is a pretty good computer as well, so it's really weird. Lol, we can't get out of the pit. What is SPS? Oh, we don't need that. Not working properly. It's not to do with that. You can turn the graphics down to get a higher frame rate, but this is a different thing. Other than using older drivers, which I don't want to do because obviously, you know, you don't want to be using old drivers. I can't think of anything else. That was the only solution I found before, was using different drivers. I've already done that kind of debate. try some different NVIDIA settings. Let's try and do some VSync through the game. Try some different NVIDIA control panel stuff. I don't think a new graphics card would even help because it's we already have quite a fast graphics card. Oh, I was playing some Hell Let Loose earlier today. That was actually working quite well. That stutters when you first load it up. But it seemed a little bit better. Generally speaking, the new map's quite nice. Yeah, it seemed to be running a bit better. Like, it still stutters, but as far as iRacing streams go, yeah, well, you know, maybe I'll just stop live streaming. We can just play some Hell Let Loose. Oh, hang on. Oh no, it's still doing it. Bot, 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 bot. It's so bad. Try it full screen. I am not installing Windows 11. That's going to break everything. I don't think IRFFB works with Windows 11. And I don't know if my forcing back joystick works with Windows 11. The stream will be running at the stream's running at half frame rate of the monitor, so it will mask. You basically have, there's 2 frames per frame that the stream grabs, so it should make the stream a lot smoother than what you can even see, because there's always 2 frames for it to pick 1 frame. That's one of the reasons why I run VSync at 120. I don't have Windows Game Bar. It's not even there. I'm pretty sure I've disabled it in the past. We can have a look. Oh, it's even worse. It's invisible. Invisible game bar. I'm pretty sure it's disabled from other stuff. Do you know what though? This monitor, when iRacing starts, it goes black, which would suggest it's having to change the refresh rate of the monitor. But the monitor's running at 119. Let's run it at 120. I'm just changing on my monitor refresh rates to 120. Sometimes that can be the issue, is that you have one monitor that's running at a random frame rate. Right. Yeah, what else are we doing? Oh, game bar. Windows G. Top G. Well, that didn't do anything. What's the shortcut? Just type it in, game bar. Okay. Settings. How do you turn this shit off then? What's all this stuff? I've just had to run it. Hit the gear icon. Oh, what is this bloat? What is this bloat? Like, what is this? Well, honestly, Microsoft. Right, settings. Do I need to have it open when iRacing is on? What do you mean check it's a game? Your instructions are terrible. I don't even but there is no game. I'm not running anything. Do you mean open game bar when iRacing's running? The game has to be open as well. Okay. Bloody hell. Do you know what? Microsoft probably spent hundreds of thousands developing the game bar thing as well. They were like, guys, this is a great, valuable feature. Nobody asked for it. Nobody wanted it. No, because it's not going to be something. It's iRacing, because it's only happened since we updated iRacing. Right, so I have to open game bar with the game open. Right. Remember, this is a game. I know. Explorer. No. Nothing's coming up. I don't know what you're on. I don't know what on earth you're talking about. Like, there's no iRacing doesn't come up on it, so the game bar stuff just doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. I think you just made something up. It's totally irrelevant. Yeah, the problem is, am I enjoying game bar? No. The problem is, most people know less about stutter than I do. So when you We've been through this before. When it comes to like video game performance and stutter, I guarantee you there's hardly anybody, especially with Sims, that has spent as much time as I have setting Sims up. So like part of you goes, oh, I'll look online, I'm sure there'll be something. It's like, no. And then when you do find something, it's something I've written myself 10 years ago. And you're just like, ah. So actually all you have to do is trial and error it, and then you're the one that comes with the solution, and then you make a YouTube video out of it, and before you know it, then you're a YouTuber. And you're like, what am I doing with my life? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even, iRacing doesn't even come up in the game bar. Yeah, it's not even hooking onto iRacing. Like, it doesn't even, when I load it, because the shortcut doesn't work to bring it up, so I can't, it's not even detecting it. Oh, this is so stupid. I mean, game bar won't even load with shortcuts. I don't even know. I have to like manually run it. I've already rebooted, obviously. We've already done that. Come on. Yeah, it's not this. I don't know where you've just Googled. I shouldn't listen to you. I hate listening to chat. I'm so dumb. I always make this mistake. Whenever we're trying to tech support something, someone in chat, they don't have a fucking clue. What they'll end up doing is they Google and then they repeat whatever the first Google result is, and and then I listen to them when actually I need to ignore them because it's always a load of bollocks. And it's always counter debate. It's always counter debate with the stupidest tips. It's not that. It's not that. It's yeah, the only solution that's ever worked in the past for this is to do different drivers. That's it. That's the only solution that's ever worked in the past with iRacing. Why are you watching the debate, Shumi? Same questions. Where's the money coming from? How will you pay for it? Will you push the red button? How is your manifesto costed? Yeah, look. Don't we just stop the economy? Then no one needs money for anything. There you go. Why are you watching it? You know it will drive you mental. You know it will drive you crazy. Isn't it? It is weird though, isn't it, that they found like £3 trillion instantaneously for the 2007 financial crisis, or you know, or like you can find billions of pounds immediately for war effort, or and yet people don't cotton on to how it works. It's like if something needs to be done, it doesn't matter how much it costs. You're like, oh, it needs to be done. So like, there's no reason. Like the government could just go. They could literally go. Homelessness. Like imagine if the UK was being invaded right now by the French. Very likely. Okay. Well, the government would go, we need to build factories to build weapons to do this. Okay, and they wouldn't go, well, how are we going to get the money to employ those people in the factory? They'd be like, no, we're just going to build the factories. We're going to tell people to build the factories. They're going to get jobs in there, and they're going to build weapons to defend us against the French. It would just happen, right? So why can you do that, but you can't go, we're not accepting any homeless people, so we're just going to build houses for them? People can't afford food. Okay, well, just give them money so they can buy food. Like you can do. Bank's going to close down. Okay, we'll just give them money. Oh, we can do that for banks. Apparently, we can't do it for people. Ah, dear. It's pretty funny though. They're never cotton on, will they? Yeah, you have to find the money. Have you found the money yet? Why would a Nvidia driver cause this intermittent stutter? A newer Nvidia driver, but why would older drivers not have that issue? What would cause that? I can't even think of a reason. Like normally, you'd be like, oh, a new driver causes a game to run worse, or a graphic to not work, or a game to crash. But not to cause like a 1 second consistent stutter. Yeah, but this game came out 5 generations ago. It's Windows memory. What's that thing called? Yeah, I put VSync on myself. I do it for streaming. No, the only solution is a different driver. No, because the previous driver, which was working fine, we've only gone to the new driver because it was stuttering with the previous driver. Tech support strip like this makes me want to put a drill through my forehead. Never live stream tech support, guys. It's always I don't think chat has ever said anything useful during a tech support live stream. I think it's actually physically impossible. The old driver didn't work, did it? That's why I installed a new driver. I don't have an obsession with new drivers. Yeah, I can install. We can install an old driver. That'll be fun. But then, yeah. I mean, I might want to use a newer driver with other games, so we'll still be screwed again. Oh, yes, you tell yourself that, Pete. On your knees, sliding along. No, the last one worked before iRacing was updated. Yeah, it worked before iRacing was updated. Then iRacing had an update, and now it doesn't work. Golden age of stutter racing. Stutterdrive.com. Nintendo Stutter Drive. Install an older driver. Oh yeah, I'm sure that'll help, Pete. Yeah. It's not a bloody monitor issue. I bet your loft conversions all catch on fire. I bet when you do your loft conversions, they're on fire when you deliver. You're like, ah, it's done. There's smoke coming out. You just set fire to people's house and go, loft's been converted. Loft's converted, mate. It's converted. Okay. Yeah, no, this is not going to be helpful, right? Guarantee you what you've just pasted is not going to be useful. Yeah, this is all not useful at all. It's like, obviously everything in that list is stuff we already know. Oh my god. This is what purgatory's like. Acebo sounds like a pharmaceutical drug. Off to the gulag. We need a gulag graphic. I'm installing an older driver. We'll see what happens. That was the only solution in the past, was older Nvidia driver. Yes, we have tried turning it on and off again. What? How is it so big? Is it all items or something? Why does it? It doesn't help me if I play it in VR and it doesn't stutter when I'm playing on the screen, does it? It probably is less likely to stutter in VR because it probably has a larger amount of buffer. And the way that VR works. Yeah, I wonder what it is with COD. Oh no, my screens have. Oh, here we go. Oh, fantastic! I don't have a middle screen. This is working out fantastic. Oh, great. I actually do not have a middle screen. Oh, it's come back. There we go. There's a problem with your graphics card. Oh, great. Uh, 2016 Doom's quite good. I'll be interested to see what the new one's like as well. No, I don't think he's doing the stutter thing now. Lol. Well, no, because now we need to... Probably is still like dodgy. Bojangles? No, we've raced him quite a bit. UI's like weirdly delayed here. Oh, he's still doing it. Not as bad, but...
Slow down. You got a penalty for cutting the course. I have so much energy today as well. I drink a Kong straw.
I don't like ACC, but I do like the normalist. So that is amazing. So it's probably one of the well, one of the or not the best simulation to practice, like even F1 or GT mods. It's really good.
No, my capture card didn't. That was OBS on the computer when I was streaming from the same computer. That was to do with the Seto Corsa. This is a specific issue to do with NVIDIA drivers and iRacing. We've had this before. It's not to do with an app. I don't think it is stuttering now with the older driver. don't think it's stuttering now. I think it was it's the newer driver, or whatever our previous driver as well with the update was stuttering. I don't think it's stuttering now. But isn't that weird? Game updates forced me to go to an older driver. Yeah, that's normal. Alright, I'm done. I'm gonna play some Hell Let Loose, I think. I can't be bothered with this. At least the stutter's not there anymore. Yeah, right. Great stream. Fantastic. Good effort. I'm going to play some Hell Let Loose and have a cup of tea. Hopefully I'll have more energy tomorrow. I don't know. GG iRacing. Well, at least we know. At least we know the new car's not very good. The Porsche's slightly better. iRacing still exactly the same. 10 out of 10. Good times. I think you guys need to learn some German. We send you over to a German legend. So thanks guys for watching and suffering with us. Go and suffer with Champion Joe for a bit. It forced him to talk English. It's funny. I'll see you guys soon. We'll have a proper stream soon. This was a stream of despair. We need to do a Hoover stream again. That's where it's really at. Bye.